Welcome back to another financial astrology update video. AMCDD you absolutely cannot get anywhere else. I'm your host Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. And today we're going to be going over AMC's moon phase analysis along with the SPY's moon phase analysis. And we're going to be looking at AMC's earnings dates with this astrology chart. I'm also going to give you guys a brief introduction of what I think about this up and coming potential recession and potential market crash based upon Pluto being in the last degrees of Capricorn and being retrograde. And we can see right here on Yahoo Finance, Pluto's interest in Capricorn in the 1760s coincide with the American Revolution and Industrial Revolution. But in 2008, it definitely corresponds with the Great Recession, okay? And we know we've been talking about how the 29th degree of any sign and the 0 degree of any sign is the most powerful degrees. Pluto is currently in the 29th degree of Capricorn and it just went retrograde. It's a pretty big deal. But before we get started on all this powerful DD you absolutely cannot get anywhere else, go ahead and smash that like button if you'd like to show me some love. Comment below what you guys think that's going to happen with AMC and the stock market going forward. Let's get started. Welcome to the Market Moon Lord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. I'm your host Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. Okay, the Moon Lords know what this is. It's the AMC Moon Phase chart. If you don't know how to trade the moon phases, check out my How to Trade the Moon Phase video. Okay, so this is just a continuation from last week's video. Okay, my last two videos, I did mention this $13 level being a possibility. I also said I would add there if we did. While it was happening, I did say it in my Discord that I did buy some more AMC and GME at this moment. Hopefully this was the bottom for now. We come into Monday with a nice catalyst, which is the AMC earnings. Another thing I like about Monday is it's right after a quarter moon that we're having on Sunday. If you look at the new yellow circles that I have on the chart, all those are moves right on a quarter moon or right after a quarter moon, which leads me to believe that this earnings report could be a nice catalyst to the upside. The bearish scenario is we get a bad earnings report, we get pushed down. The next area of support based on the moon phases would be around the 1050, and that's definitely where I will be adding if we happen to fall. Now remember guys, we have the full moon eclipse on May 16th. That's gonna be an absolute banger. If you guys want more details on the eclipse, check out those eclipse videos that I did previously. The last 3 videos have been about that eclipse. Coming over to the SPY daily chart, is actually looking stronger than AMC based on the moon phases because it hasn't fallen below where it started on that new moon. Okay, so as long as the SPY stays above this 408, I'm not really too worried about the SPY. I'm very hopeful that it's going to continue to bounce higher on this new moon phase leading to that full moon eclipse, which is going to be on May 16th. Okay, now as far as volume, the volume is going higher on the SPY, which is good. The volume started increasing during the waxing period. The stochastic is actually getting around the neutral level. So yeah, I mean, I am hopeful that we could get a reverse. Now if the SPY does not hold this 408 support, the next level of support would be around that $400 range, $399. Okay, so we have the AMC astrology chart. We're looking at May 9th, 4 p.m., right when we should get earnings for AMC. And I just want to remind everyone about this Pluto, which I've been talking about, which is conjunct AMC's Venus and AMC's ascendant. Pluto is literally the sign or the planet of transformation, sudden changes, literally sudden ups and downs. I told you guys you never know what's going to happen when Pluto's right there, okay? And I've been waiting for Pluto to be there. Right when it gets there, it goes retrograde. So this is huge moment into this retrograde. It just began, and out of the retrograde is going to be huge, right? And then when it goes 0 degrees on AMC's ascendant, that's even going to be huger. But AMC's in a humongous transformation right now, guys, bigger than what I think we realize. But as far as more immediate stuff for May 9th, the very first thing I see that I really love is what's happening with Mercury over here. It's got a trine to Mars. Mars is like energy, okay? Lots of energy. Mars is like a charge. Mars is passion, okay? So that's good for the stock because Mercury is communication. So there's going to be a lot of communication on AMC on this day. And that's a positive trine. Now, this Neptune square is something we've seen very often, and that's definitely manipulation. We've been talking about the Mercury Neptune squares in the sky. That's causing a lot of manipulation. And then the Mercury over here is squaring Mars. Okay, so it's like we got Mars. That's AMC's Mars is getting positive transit from the transiting Mercury, but the transiting Mars is making a negative aspect to AMC's Mercury. But if you guys been watching me long enough, you guys know I do not mind seeing Mercury getting a positive or negative aspect from AMC's chart, okay? Because a lot of times when Mercury is getting an aspect on an AMC, good or bad, that can be a big move coming. The next thing I want to talk about is AMC's Sun. It's getting a nice trine from AMC's Moon, and we know AMC has a strong Moon because this Moon is at home in Cancer, and it's making a nice trine to the Sun, and the Sun is a company's reputation, and the Moon is like the people, especially for hospitality to like services companies. That's really good for the Moon to be getting a trine there during a waxing period on top of that. So I do like that. And the Sun is getting a nice sextile from the transiting Saturn, which is in the sign of evolution, explosions into the future, innovation. Okay, so I won't be surprised if Adam has some things up his sleeves as far as new things coming to the table. When we look at the transiting Sun, it's directly opposite AMC Saturn while making a sextile to expansive lucky Jupiter, which is in this exalted position for AMC in the sign of Cancer. Okay, but the Sun opposite the sign of Saturn in the sign of Scorpio. This is very karmic to me because Scorpio is those sudden changes. Saturn rules karma, those milestones, the work you put in, the harvest of that work, or the repercussions or the restrictions. That's Saturn. So this is a pretty big deal that we're having the earnings while the Sun's making exact opposition. We know oppositions are obstacles and opportunities, but at the same time, the transiting Saturn is making a positive sextile to AMC's Sun. Okay, so I'm pretty bullish for that, especially since the exalted Jupiter is involved with this while making a 0-degree trine to the transiting Mars, while the Mars is also making that trine to the Saturn. Okay, so Jupiter's kind of involved in this whole situation, which I like overall. I do think that we're going to get more good news than bad news. If I had to say one thing I'm not in love with, it's definitely this Venus square AMC's Moon. Venus is branding, and Venus is also partnerships, because of relationships, and it rules money. The Moon can be like the company's like reputation as far as amongst the people, or it can also do with some of the management. So there could be some type of, I would say, changes of reputation with certain partnerships they could have. They could be getting rid of certain partnerships. They could be stepping into a new branding that certain partners may not agree with. There could be something like that going on. But at the same time, the transiting Jupiter is making a 0-degree or 1-degree sextile and a 0-degree sextile to AMC's ascendant. So at the same time, there's still a lot of expansion going on. But I do have to mention that Venus is definitely in an interesting position, especially since it's conjunct Uranus, which will show some type of innovative, unique, maybe even eccentric move by AMC coming up in the near future. It's safe to say we're going to get a big move on earnings, and we're in eclipse season, and we're in a waxing period of the moon, so I'm loaded up just in case we get a nice pop. So you guys know we've been calling out the Pluto returning to the US. Pluto that would happen in this year would be a banger, and so far it has been. And I'm paying even more attention to Pluto now because leading into this current Pluto retrograde, the stock market started going crazy, investigations started going down. Obviously, Pluto rules secrets and things being investigated, so perfect timing there. I laid out in my last video all the times Pluto has been retrograde. When it comes out of retrograde, the shadow period, and the stock market is making big moves around these times. So I will be tracking Pluto throughout this retrograde period and its shadow period. And I'm going to be tracking it going out of Capricorn and into Aquarius to further make predictions on where the stock market may be going. And keep in mind, this Pluto is right on top of AMC's ascendant and Venus. Now, I don't know if we get a market crash, if that's going to lead to margin calls on AMC and the ultimate squeeze, but I do know Pluto and Capricorn, the last degrees, is that type of energy that can create a market collapse. Yahoo Finance says Capricorn, the sign of tradition, legacy, and governance. Pluto, the planet of transformation and destruction. Pluto went inside the sign of Capricorn November 27, 2008. And this is November 2008 when the stock market was collapsing 50%, when Pluto went into Capricorn, and now it's at the last degrees of Capricorn. And it pretty much took the stock market a very long time to recover from this drop. So something to note going forward. All because the SPY and the stock market crashed when Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008. The economy went to crap. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen when Pluto is in the last degrees of Capricorn as it is now. To me, it definitely could signal a crash, but it's we're in the end period, the last degrees of Capricorn, and then Pluto will be going to Aquarius. Aquarius is the innovator, the inventor. It's all about futuristic things. It's about destroying the old and building the new. When Pluto goes in Aquarius, that's going to be a crazy time in the world. That is a fact. And it's going to go into Aquarius in March of 2023. But it's also going to go back into Capricorn one last time and then finally be out of Capricorn and into Aquarius for good in January of 2024. Okay, guys, so this isn't coming from me. This is coming from Yahoo Finance. They were talking about this of May 2021. Yahoo Finance is not playing around. Clearly, they're into astrology. Clearly, they know what's good. Clearly, Pluto and Capricorn and leaving Capricorn is a huge, huge deal. Now, what they say Pluto and Capricorn is really about on a grand scale is about revamping our lifestyle, buying property, retirement, healthcare, earning living wages, taking care of existing threats. There's many things that Pluto wants to do in Capricorn, and it's literally, Pluto's the planet of transformation and resources. Capricorn is the planet or the sign of structure and building. Okay, so this is literally about building our power, our resources, our money, our structure, our foundation, our real estate investments, our portfolio investments. This is even has a lot to do with our physical body because Capricorn, Saturn rules the bones. So it's about physically revamping our lifestyle. Okay, it's just during all these times, Pluto translating through Capricorn, things that have already had structure, politically, commercially, legal, religious establishments. Those are the areas that are going to be changing, okay, and be getting exposed for the truth, okay. So I have a whole book talking about this time. My book was called, the book that I'm reading called this out like a decade ago, that hedge funds and the government could be going through a crazy, nasty transformation, and some of them could be falling around this time. So in future videos, I'm going to be tracking all this Pluto movements, and I'm going to be making specific dates on what I think the stock market is going to do, including AMC when Pluto comes out of retrograde, when Pluto comes out of shadow period, when Pluto comes out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, and then back into Capricorn, out of Aquarius. I'm going to write dates for all that stuff, and then I'm going to give predictions in the stock market, etc. Okay, so you guys better stay tuned for that. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. We got a very, very exciting week coming up for us on AMC, and we have a very impactful, huge week coming up. Huge, 2 weeks leading into this full moon coming up in the entire stock market, guys. And that full moon is an eclipse full moon in the moon's debilitated sign of Scorpio. So it's pretty extreme. But I'll leave it there. If you guys enjoyed this video and haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're new here, haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Put the bell notification on. Make sure you get those notifications. And don't forget to check us out at the Market Moonlord Discord. A lot of great people in there. I appreciate you making it this far in this video. I appreciate you Diamond Hand and AMC. And guys, we simply have to continue holding, have that patience, and patience will pay. I'm Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune, here to help you navigate through the illusions of life. You're watching the Market Moonlord, where we merge the matrix with the stars. Until next time, peace.
Jason Alexander, the Blue Moon of Neptune.